This episode's brought to you by Flying Eyes. Stick around later in the episode to find out how to get 10% off. My name is Trevor Aldridge. I flew for the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, and I flew F-15s across England, Japan, and the Middle East, where I got my call sign, Duzit. Now, I travel the country looking for my next adventure. This is Doesn't Does It. Hey y'all, we are here in Alabama, going out to fly the Patriot, Super Patriot today. This is Don, owner of Patriot. Tell me a little bit about this airplane, vision. It's a beautiful airplane, but what do y'all do here?
I tell you, here at the Bibb County Airport in Alabama, it's this little small airport, small town. It's just it fits what we do here, because this airplane, it's really based on our, Patriot comes from me being in the service, my uncles being in the service, and so we're proud of our heritage, and we just wanted to make sure that this airplane really is a culmination of years and years of work. But the main thing is we wanted it to kind of have that name that made in America kind of deal, and especially in the small town America, and that's where we're at. And so this airplane is just like I said, years of working on these Cub style airplanes, all different versions of them. And so we built the airplane for three reasons. We kind of talked about it. Is we wanted to make sure that it had low wing loading. We wanted to make sure that it had the pilot comforts, and we wanted to make sure that it was mechanic friendly. And this is what we come up with, and we're super proud of it. And what's better though, we're really super proud that a Patriot like yourself, somebody who was in the service, and to have you flying this airplane is really awesome, man. Really awesome.
I'm excited. We had to do a little bit of flying yesterday, but I'm really excited to check it out solo, light.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting.
But yeah, it's definitely going to be an honor and a privilege, for you to fly this airplane and give us your feedback, because that's one of the things is, again, we can design stuff, we can work on stuff, we can build stuff, but if people don't like it, then it's no good, and so let's see what you say today.
Yeah, so we got some weather rolling in.
Yeah,
we're going to go between some rain clouds here, and we're going to get some flying in between.
Sounds good.
All right, Bibb County Super Patriots could be taking off runway 28, Bibb County.
I got no airspeed indicated. It is climbing out so fast. Man, this airplane is fun. All right, so taking off had no airspeed indication at all. I think it starts here about, I know yesterday I took it down to 35 and I was stalling it around. So it definitely takes off nice and slow, but you just feel the aircraft. Put the tail up, and then based off the brief, I was told that I would be able to get airborne as soon as I got the tail up. Be as lightweight as I can. I think I was able to get the tail up pretty quick. So I got the tail up, put the tail back down. It didn't quite lift off, so I just kind of held that position for it to take off. But man, fun little airplane. All right, we're gonna run it up. We're gonna put it through a couple stall series. Since I haven't done this lightweight, we got some weather coming off the nose, so I'm gonna have to make this a little quick. I've got some good altitude already. I'll pull it back. Make sure that ball's centered up when we're getting slow. 40 knots. I got 43 knots. Gonna control the power back. RPM is about 1500. I still got a 300 foot climb at 40 knots. I say 40 knots. That's 40 miles an hour. That takes some getting used to. All right, trim and aft. 37. Staying level, no problem. Gonna keep pulling the fire back. We're about 1,300 RPMs, 36 miles an hour. All right, and right there about 37, 36 miles an hour. I do have a good speed indication on that. That is fun. All right, we got some weather coming in. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do a river run today, just based off the fact that weather is rolling in. Let's see. Just play that map. Got to trim back out. The lateral left-right is pretty smooth, and this is just free flying right here. All right, so in the dive, I got 78 miles an hour. All right, we got a little bit of rain coming in. I don't want to push that. Although I do have a pretty good panel here, I could just close these doors and fly through my MC. Airplane's light. It's nimble. It's a little heavier than a J3, but definitely lighter than other aircraft I've flown, like balls and carbon cubs and stuff like that. This has a lot of carbon fiber to it, and it is a very light aircraft relative to the carbon cubs, which is really impressive. Because it does have that big wing, you do have to adjust that and kind of anticipate these turns. So as I drop down here in this river, which Don showed me yesterday, I got to fly it once. But as I jump down in this river, I know this river, I've flown it a couple times. You just kind of got a lead turn. Oh, got a bird there. I don't want to bother you. Oh, and that's a bald eagle. Just kind of beautiful days that are here. So you got to lead turn your turns a little bit. So as I turn in here, I don't know if you can see my sticking, but you kind of got to lead turn as you know that a turn is coming up. You got to just put that turn in a little bit prior. Not a huge deal. What I really like about this airplane, when I'm flying nice and slow, it's super confidence inspiring here. Here I am, 5-10 feet off the river here. Man, this is a pretty river. But when you're slow speed, one thing I really like, relative to like the Huskies, not necessarily the ones that have been really modified, but like a traditional Husky, you lose a lot of aileron authority when you get really slow. In this airplane, man, all right, I got lots of birds. There's another bald eagle. I need to leave those birds alone. All right, as far as the, sorry, I just focused right now. This is fun. These trees are a little tight right here. Looks good, and these strips, man, there you see our landing strips right there, our tire marks from where we landed yesterday. A little touch and go. The great thing about these airplanes, man, this strip that I have cut off right here, if I wanted to, and I had the speed, I could just land right here. You go out, hang out with the kids, plenty of storage to be bringing fun stuff with you. It's a tight turn, kind of a blind turn corner here, and I got a little bit of rain coming. So I am going to actually knock it off here, and I'm going to go back home. No need to be doing this in the weather, but man, look at these trees. Look how pretty this is. Such a pretty place. Such a pretty airplane. Such a fun airplane to fly. You can really do whatever you want with it. So in the case, people wonder like, oh, is this safe? Obviously, always work within your limits. Don't do anything beyond your limits or your capabilities. Obviously, I have a lot of experience flying low. I have a lot of experience flying backcountry aircraft and tailwheel aircraft and stuff like that. So. And I've seen this river. I went out with Don. I was in the back seat. He showed me any threats, any potential concerns. Not just going out here, just going crazy and not really taking a calculated decision on that. So everything's calculated. But the great thing about this airplane is you can do so many things, particularly depending upon what part of the country you're in. You can land on riverbeds. You can go to places that nobody else can go to. And this airplane is a really fun way, especially with these ridiculously big tires. I'm hoping to be getting the Patriot soon, and for my purposes, I will probably not be putting tires that are quite this big. Just extra drag that you have when you're flying, and so you don't quite get to go as fast. And you don't need them. I mean, the type of flying I'm going to be doing, landing on grass strips and things like that, I just don't need those giant tires. All right, make sure I'm not getting too much water in here. A little bit, but not. Honestly, it's working out really well. The airflow around it is actually keeping the rain off pretty good. All right, we're going to go back and land. We're going to get at least one landing in. I'll see how the weather is, and then might get a couple in. This aircraft, you know, we can talk about flying tail wheels all day long. There's a lot of different techniques. First time I landed this, I two-pointed it just because I've been doing that a lot recently, flying the Mustang, and so that carbon Mustang. So I two-pointed it, but with these big tires, they have the potential of having a lot of drag. And so if you get one down and the other not, you could have some potential issues, especially with these big drag tires. And he really wants me to three-point it, and it's weird because I'm an Air Force guy, and I'm used to landing aircraft, and Navy guys, obviously, they do a little bit more just dancing it on the ground. And that's kind of what you have to do with this airplane. It really does like to land a three-point attitude. You come in super steep, super slow, just flare at the last minute, and really let these amazing Acme titanium landing gear and giant tires, the bush wheel tire, that Acme strut in the back, really absorb the landing. So we'll see if I can get a good three-point landing in on this. All right, so I am not even a base yet. I'm going to idle because this airplane really does like to float. It's got a lot of, put one notch of flaps in. It's got a lot of lift to it. I'm actually going to float this out a little bit longer than I normally would. We're currently sitting at 52 miles an hour. I'm just going to let it keep coming down. All right, there. All right, there's 40. Gonna slip it a little bit. At 37, 36.
It's tough to get this thing slowed down. It's just got so much energy and it floats so well. You know, I obviously touched down a little faster than I wanted to, but the stall speed's a lot slower than it was yesterday.
You know, it helps when you don't have 250 pounds of dead weight.
We had a little bit of weather rolling in. I'm going to turn back around and go do another takeoff and try bringing it a little slower, get a little more firmer three-point landing.
A little bit lower, but you'll get used to, you know, slowing it down because it's not natural to slow an airplane down that slow.
It is just so slow, absolutely.
All right, bags are good, everything's good there.
All right, Bibbs County, Super Patriots can be taking off runway 28.
All right, we'll take off on the hard runway. Landing on the grass, saving those tires. Those aren't cheap tires. All right, here we go. Flaps, fuel. And she's up. All right, I'm going to try to kill a little bit more energy this time. Let's go and bring a little bit of flaps in. Pulling the power back. All right, got one notch of flaps in. We're going to slip it down this time, really kill some energy. Got 45 knots.
Bibbs County, Super Patriots, left 8, runway 28, Bibbs.
I'm just slipping it the whole way down. All right. Well, that was a...
There's Navy landing, a little bit of a sink right there.
Yeah, man. You pulled the nose up and really slowed it down, but then you got to get used to it. You dropped the nose because you felt like you were probably, I don't know, maybe
felt like you needed to, but you didn't even need to do that. But that was a great landing. That's a plopper. You did a plopper.
Yeah, so that was basically a stalled landing.
All right, this next one, instead of landing in front of y'all, what I'm going to do is bring it in a little bit more normal. Kind of do a more normal landing, kind of a normal 3-point landing instead of trying to do a short distance landing, and just see if I can more hit my spot. All right, Bibbs County, Super Patriots can be taking off runway 28.
All right. Up, we got fuel, pump, ignition, gas, go. Not quite. Just another half second. I think he's got a cruise pitch on the prop right now, and so we're not quite getting the pull, but I mean, still, I'm taking off at 100 feet.
On this landing too, go ahead and go to 3 notches of flaps. Get yourself configured for 2 before you make the turn, and then pull your 3rd notch, you know, when you turn final. That way you get time to set up for the 3 notches. And that rain is getting a little heavier right here at this split second, but it's passing by us.
All right, we're gonna close that door.
All right, sounds good. I think I'll probably make this one, well, yeah, we got some more coming in. I think I might make this one the last stop.
Yeah, I see it now. The radar just saying it's showing it like it needs to. Go ahead and chop your power because you're way too high.
Yeah, power's back. Yeah, still setting up for too long.
You'll get it figured out.
I think I would take this one around and get another pattern. I want to try and get a good landing out of it.
Yeah, you were looking good though.
Yeah, I could have made it. I just want to try to get one more on the spot landing.
We're gonna go a little lower this time so I don't have as much altitude to lose.
There you go. Don't climb any higher than that. Stay right there.
Yeah, 1,000-foot pattern altitude doesn't work in this airplane.
Yeah, you know, maybe we can teach you Air Force guys a little something. I don't know.
One day.
All right, we got our altitude. Yeah, I think that was the difference. I'm kind of setting myself for a normal 1,000-foot visual pattern, and you just don't need that here.
All right, based on that rain coming in, I'm going to go ahead and bring it in.
10-4.
All right, so not my best landings. I mean, they weren't bad, right? I mean, but for what I was trying to achieve, I wasn't very happy with my landings. Honestly, this airplane just floats. It doesn't sink like my Debonair, Mustang, or the other aircraft kind of. This one's got really long wings, longer than like a Super Cub or a Carbon Cub, and so it just really likes to fly. So you've got to come in with way less energy, and because the stall speed is so ridiculously slow that you have to come in with super slow speeds. Landings are fine, I mean, the one I came in and I was really trying to 3-point. It was harder than I'd like to be, but and all the land, you know, I got a little bit of gust there on the last one, but it's not a hard airplane to fly. It's not hard to land. Really wide landing here. Overall, really fun airplane. But for spot landing, I got some work to do.
We saw the rain that was approaching in, and we got it down just in time because it is now pouring down rain. I got her all cleaned up. She's looking good. She flew great. It's really funny, the debrief that I got versus what I thought I had during the flight. So in the flight, I had the one landing you saw where I'd come down pretty fast and have a pretty good firm landing. And to me, as an Air Force pilot, liking to flare and land an airplane softly, I thought that was terrible. I did an awful job. And I got back and he's like, yeah, that landing was a great landing. Man, these Acme shocks, these giant tires, they just really absorb it. It's a strong airplane. And so now I've got to learn how to fly really slow. So stay tuned, we'll do some more later. This episode has been brought to you by Flying Eyes. Honestly, these are some of my favorite sunglasses I've ever flown with. They're incredibly durable. They've got polycarbonate lenses. And if you want to get a pair of these, go to Flying Eye Optics. Check out with code DOZEN and you get 10% off and you help support the channel as well.